Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video I want to ask a question. What makes a distro suitable for advanced users as opposed to distros for beginners? In Linux circles we hear this all the time. For instance, if you go to any Facebook page there will be somebody who has never used Linux before and they will ask which distro should they use. And quite often the response will be that for first time users they should go for something like Mint or Ubuntu. On the flip side of the coin, there is this notion that if you use something like Arch or Void, that you must be some sort of Linux guru. So the reason I'm asking this question today is that I've just finished a month on Zorin, and there's a video coming out for that shortly. And it lived up to its billing as being incredibly straightforward to use. Everything worked and there weren't any issues. For this month I had planned to use Manjaro, but it was a toss of a coin between that and Cachy. And in the end I opted for Cachy because firstly it's supposedly one of the more advanced distros based on Arch. It is billed as being incredibly fast and it also enables you to use the Cosmic desktop and Hyperland, and I wanted to do some videos about both of these things this month. So I decided to create a dual boot guide and everything went well, and there's a guide for that going to be released in the next week or so. Except when I rebooted, Windows wasn't one of the options in the grub menu. A little bit of debugging later and I found out the OS prober used by grub was switched off by default, and so I had to reopen the grub config, enable it and then rerun the make grub command, and this fixed the issue. Whilst doing all this I needed a screen capture tool to be able to record it for the dual boot guide, and so I installed OBS Studio. Cachy is used in Wayland and not X, and OBS generally works fine with Wayland. How do I know this, you may ask? Well, one, from previous experience, and two, because Zorin also uses Wayland and OBS worked without a hitch. The thing is with Cachy, OBS didn't run without a hitch. I spent a good 2 to 3 hours trying to get the screen capture to work, and I reinstalled the XDG desktop portal and I installed the XDG desktop portal Cosmic package. And I did that because I am running Cosmic. Eventually, however, it turned out I needed to use the XDG desktop portal GTK package instead. Now whilst this works to some extent, every time I reboot I have to restart the XDG desktop portal package, and I've seen that other people have similar issues with Cosmic, Arch, Cachy and other Arch based distros. At this point it got me thinking, are Arch and its derivatives really more advanced, or is it just more of a proverbial pain in the backside? For me, to be more advanced, it may be more difficult to set up, but it provides something basic doesn't give you. For example, if I have an image and I want to convert that image from a JPG to a PNG file, then I can use a simple image conversion tool. And then I open the conversion tool, open the image and export it into the format that I need. However, if I want to convert 100 images, using a GUI for this would not be fun, whereas I could run a single terminal command and all 100 images would be converted within seconds. That is a true difference between beginner level and advanced level, knowing you can run a command that can save you time and effort, and it's totally worth it. If I look at the Cachy experience thus far, and this isn't intended to knock Cachy, I have had to use the command line to get dual booting working, where with Zorin I didn't, and I have wasted 2 or more hours getting OBS to work, and it still isn't as good as the version that I had with Zorin. To me, being more advanced needs to provide a benefit. Thus far I can see performance is a benefit because Cachy is, as described, blazingly fast. But at the same time I have lost multiple hours fixing an issue, so the gain in performance has been lost. Now one benefit Cachy provides over Arch is that there is a graphical installer, and it works really well. Arch users may say that Arch is more advanced. I've installed Arch using the manual method and I've used the automated installer, and it has me thinking, compared to other distributions, what is the benefit of this? It is a niche skill to learn and not really transferable to other distros, and in reality is it a skill worth learning? For instance, creating powdered wigs is a niched and advanced skill set, but I have no need to learn how to do it. I am about to embark on a journey of learning Hyperland because I've seen other YouTubers using Awesome and DWM and window managers like that, and I want to see if I can improve my workflow. Time will tell whether this is a skill worth learning or just another niche thing that really isn't that important. So what do you think? What really makes one distro more advanced than the other? Is it really more advanced or just needlessly more difficult?